Sean, your line is open.
Hey guys, good morning and congratulations. I have two quick questions. First one, just for both you guys. You're officially through to the round of 16. You've picked up 3 points, especially after losing that first game. Just what sort of relief is it to be able to move on now?
Uh, we did what we had to get through. Obviously, I was the one who started the error in the first game. The boys came out big in the second game, and then I thought we had a pretty complete performance today. We did enough to get through, and now we're on to the next thing.
Next question will go to Chris Hanaj. Chris, your line is open.
Hello. Yeah, sorry. My question's for Johnny. Gianluca Busio has been linked with a lot of clubs in Europe. I just wondered where you think he's at in terms of his potential. Do you see maybe a future for him in Europe?
Of course, he's got a massive future. Bus is one of the players that's been with us for a while, since probably like 15. So his development over that time has been great. But obviously, we want to hold on to him for as long as we can. But if he keeps showing signs of progression the way that he is, then he's got a huge future in this game.
Next question will go to Sean Goodwin with the Kansas City Star. Sean, your line is open.
Hey Johnny, 7 yellow cards, typical chippy kind of game between Sporting and Salt Lake. Just what was it like being out there in, I guess such a harsh, tough game?
Like you said, difficult game, it always is against them. Difficult conditions, but we knew what we had to do to get the points and to go through in this tournament as well. That was the only aim coming into the game. We started well, obviously getting the early goal helps, but they had good periods in the game, but I thought we weathered them. And then we finished strong. We looked like the team who could have got a few more as well. So we learned our mistakes from the first game. We've moved on since then, and like Tim said earlier, it was a complete performance today.
And then secondly for you as well, you had a goal after 51 seconds. It's the fourth quickest in SKC history. Just tell us what you saw during that whole play, because that was just pinball inside the box.
Yeah, we had worked on a short corner in practice, and that didn't come off. It was a great ball into the box, and like you said, it came off a few bodies, bit of a ricochet everywhere, and then just dropped to me nicely and caught it well on the right foot. Doesn't happen too often, so it was a nice one to take. It was nice to get the early goal as well. It settled. Not that we had any nerves going into the game, but it just settles you down. You've got that goal behind you.
Next question will go to Tom Bogert from MLSsoccer.com. Tom, your line is open.
Hey guys, congrats on the win. This one's for Tim. You guys came into this tournament as one of the favorites, and now you're through with 6 points, and you're putting together a couple good performances. Do you guys feel like you're one of the favorites still to win this tournament?
I don't think so. I think our goal is just to continue to move forward. I think we just need to get a little bit better each game, and I think we did that, especially this game. We handled the different phases of the game really well collectively as a group, and now we just build off each performance a little more, and we just want to keep going and keep going.
The first question will go to Sean Goodwin from the Kansas City Star. Sean, your line is open.
Hey Peter, good morning and congratulations on not only the win but 3 points through to the next round. Just after the first loss to Minnesota, how relieved are you to have won 2 games back to back and now be through to the round of 16?
Well, I'm glad that right now in league play we're 4-1. Says a lot. We unfortunately we had a tough game in the first game here. And again, unfortunately, we lost a game that we should have, had in our back pocket, but we didn't. And I really liked the reaction of the team since then. And it seems like from game to game, we're getting stronger and stronger. And very proud of the players that not only started the game with some of the changes that we made, but also very proud of the guys that came on. I thought that Felipe Hernandez had a tremendous, 30 some odd minutes for us. Girso, again, is electrifying off the bench. Daniel came on. He had some good stuff there at the end in getting behind the guys. He tackled, he fought for stuff, which was good to help close the game out. And so, it was a good way to finish off the 3 games. And all these other games are icing on the cake. But our objective, I said that from the beginning, was the 3 games. As I said, disappointed on the first, but really, really proud of the guys, the way they reacted and responded in the next 2.
And then just my second question is 7 yellow cards, pretty chippy game. During the first half, during a hydration break, you were actually caught by ESPN, kind of shouting at the 4th official. It was eventually muffled. I guess you weren't too pleased with some of the decisions Alberto said.
Stuff happens in every game, unfortunately, and yeah. I mean, I think you said it. I don't know what else I need to say to it, other than it was a tough game, and it always is a tough game between the team, against them and us. Both very competitive. Both want to win.
Next question will go to Seren Petra with Sports Radio 810 WHB. Seren, your line is open.
Peter, just excuse me. I know it's hot and everything going on down there, but just for the record, the lineup changes. Was it just rest and manipulating the roster overall?
I'm sorry. It was hard for me to hear you on the last part, but I'm the same. I'm not sure if you said was it because of the heat or was it because of? Is that what you're asking me?
I just want you on the record as to what your thinking was on the changes you made to the lineup today.
Yeah, look, I think that it was the right group to go and get the job done in the way that we wanted to play. And I'll be honest with you. I already knew the subs. Prior to the game, we spoke a lot about how we thought the game would go, and where we would have to add energy, especially late in the game, because we know that they would make a push. And I thought that we finished the game really, really strong on 2 fronts: one physically, and then also the way we managed the game. And so, I mean, the changes were based on trying to get the win and the result in this game.
And then as a follow-up, you've got a lot of options as far as scoring goes. Have you settled in to the rhythm of what the lineup's going to be and everybody know their role, or are you still working that out now after the break?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, but I would say absolutely still working on it because, again, it's almost like we've only played 3 games. It's not 5, although we have. It's just a big break in between, and fitness is a big thing. You can see Johnny. We had the break, and I went to him and I said, "Can you just give me all out for 5 more minutes?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll do it." And I'm trying to push him. I'm trying to push different guys to keep increasing their fitness in this kind of weather, and it's good. They're getting stronger with each game, and that's a good thing. But no way do I have. And us as a staff haven't figured out yet, because as you saw today, the changes we made, they helped us. And I found out something about our team today. We actually, the guys adapted to something in the first half. And as much as they had possession the last 25 minutes of the first half, the guys did a really good job of adapting and adjusting without us telling them to do something. They actually sat back in a little bit. And again, it wasn't 30 yards from our goal, but we dropped almost to the midfield line, and really gave them less space to work with. And although they had the ball and they were moving it and all those other things, we really didn't give up any chances. And so it's just a mental thing that you have to overcome, and that is the other team has the ball, and you don't get caught up in that. And then what we did was we turned the tide in the second half, because in the second half we started to play a little bit more penetrating, a little more direct, and I think that was a difference in the second half, and bringing on those fresh guys. They could be vertical, and obviously Girso's goal, puts the nail in the coffin. But his electricity off the bench is huge, and so that it's a valuable asset to have when a player comes in with that type of mentality and quality of play.
Next question will go to Harold Kuntz from Fox 4. Harold, your line is open.
Hey, Peter, how's it going? Congratulations on the win. During the game, you said, I think during the hydration break in the second half, you said it's hot and there's been mistakes all over the field. And you could tell you're a little frustrated there. My question to you is, just with this heat, with the morning games and the night games, do you feel that your team, as this has progressed, is now a little bit more acclimated now, and you've kind of measured your substitution changes because of, how people can go further into the match, or using the depth on your roster?
I think subs and the changes and everything also have to do with just accumulation of games in a short period of time. And to your point, the climate, all of those things for sure have a piece to that, right? Also, certain guys come into games and give certain qualities that you need against other opponents. What I would say is yes to everything that you said. At the same time, I'll clarify. Look, there's probably not a game that I've ever, as a player, played or coached that I'm not frustrated. It's my nature. It's my personality. It's who I am. But the great thing is that I always get that frustration. I get that all out during the game, so that afterwards I actually am pretty good. I'm not holding on to it. So it's just who I am. That's my personality. So my comment is it's why one of the reasons why they asked me, I laughed, because that's just who I am. And it's just my personality.
Next question will go to Chris Hanaj. Chris, your line is open.
Hello, Peter. I'm just curious with Gianluca Busio. You said you learned a lot about your players today. What do you feel like he needs to do to get more regular first-team opportunities with the team?
He's doing it. He didn't get in the game today. Like, I didn't play him today because it was because somebody was tired. I played him because he deserves to play, and I've told him that many times since we started this year. I told him that you're going to get time because you deserve to play, because you've earned it, not because I'm just taking a young guy and giving him experience. Not at all. And so he'll continue to get those minutes and help the team because he's that kind of player, and he's growing every day.
Next question will go to Tom Bogert from MLSsoccer.com. Tom, your line is open.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. You guys entered this tournament as one of the favorites, and 2 wins from the 3 group games won't take teams off your scent. Do you feel that you're still one of the favorites to win this tournament?
Well, we were never one of the favorites, and I don't believe that they believe that we are the one of the favorites, and I don't think we're one of the favorites. I don't think that I think the best team at the tournament thus far has been San Jose. They've played very well. They have found different ways to win games. They have fought, defended. They've done it all, and so they're the favorites to win the tournament from my perspective at this moment. And so I don't think we are, and I don't think we deserve to be.
Next question will go to John Rojas. John, your line is open.
Thank you. Peter, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thanks for the time. Peter, in the second goal, it's 80-something minute, 85, 84, something like that. You already had your substitutions. We already talked about the circumstances, heat, early game, all that. And every single player touched the ball. The ball went from right to center, center to left, come back. And I know all the highlights going to be on the chat. But that build-up is more talking about the reaction of the players to this situation and how do they manage the tempo of the game, or your model taking a step forward in those hard moments of the game?
It's all the above. There's moments where you, to your point, where you can score a goal by everybody touching the ball. There's others where you win the ball, you turn, a guy knocks the ball into space, threads the needle, the guy goes in, it's 2 passes, and it's a goal. In either circumstance, when you look at the goal, either way, in its entirety, what you tend to focus on is you tend to focus on the final finish. What I do is I'm focused on the decision making of the players and then the allocation of their spacing on the field. And what was very good in that goal is the allocation, which allowed us to keep possession, what allowed us to move the ball, and then what also allowed us to have the time to find the open man. And then finally, the brilliance of Girso was able to be on show because he was put in the right position where he can be really dangerous.
Final two questions. We'll go to Sean Goodwin and Seren Petro. Sean, your line is open.
Hey, Peter. Defensively, you mentioned it earlier how you guys, really limited the space for Salt Lake and didn't let them do much. But it's not like they sat back and didn't really attack. I mean, you guys didn't give them a sniff. Just how good were you guys defensively today, holding back for the full 90?
No. Again, I wasn't suggesting that they held back. They actually pushed the game, especially from like the 20th minute through the 45th minute. They had the ball, and they were moving it very well. What my point is that they really didn't create all that much in regards to great chances on goal. And that was a credit to the way that our guys had patience. I thought Zusi did a really good job all game long, because a player that he played against, I think, is very good, has a lot of energy, likes to go at people. And Zeus was really patient. Like, his delaying, his 1v1 defending was top notch. And so we had a lot of that, which was really good. We didn't overcommit to open up other situations in behind us. And so, yeah, when I was saying that, I learned a lot, and that is when the guys kind of sat back in that last 25 minutes in the first half, what they exhibited is that they moved well from side to side. They had a good compact group, but they really didn't give, crazy chances away. They gave possession away, but they didn't give up chances. And that's good to be able to hold on to a game when maybe at the moment, maybe something's not working for you, or you just need to kind of catch yourself. The guys were able to do that.
Last question comes from Seren Petro with Sports Radio 810 WHB. Seren, your line is open.
Peter, I know you addressed why Busio was playing, but during the broadcast, they talked about some Italian clubs having interest, even talking about amounts that the transfer could be. He's a young kid. What does that do for him as far as a distraction to have that out there? And have you had those conversations with him?
If it was somebody else, I'd have a lot of concern. I've had talks with Boos around this subject many times. And so I feel very comfortable that he can handle it, because he knows what he wants, and he also understands that he has a long career ahead of him. And when and if a moment like that does come, it's going to be right. I've said from the very beginning, when we signed Boos, that our objective is always going to be that we're going to talk with him, his parents, his family, whatever, to make the right decision. The last thing that we're going to do is we're just going to make a financial decision. That will not be the case. Boos is a product of our club, and we're going to make sure that if he decides to stay here for the rest of his career, that he's going to have everything available to him. If he decides that at some point he wants to move on, then we're going to make sure where he moves on to is the right situation for him. And so if and when that happens, I think we'll all be a part of that discussion and make the best decision that is good for Boos.